Red Flags of Emotional Repression, Part 72, Agreement and Disagreement. Here's what we find in KI. Intellectual agreement, which is to land on the same belief, opinion, or position as someone else, and or intellectual disagreement, which is to land on a different belief, opinion, and position as someone else, are both forms of codependency, which is to say they're both unconscious attempts to get our unmet needs from childhood met. Here's a play-by-play of the mechanics. First of all, if we were kids who were raised by emotionally repressed parents, we're going to be emotionally repressed, because that's the only way to have a relationship or a connection with someone in emotional repression, right? To repress your emotions along with them and to not be yourself. And part of that relationship or connection, since no one has access to their bodies or to their real emotions, is to think the same things as the other, right? To have the same thoughts or to agree with them. Now, keep in mind, this intellectual agreement is a false connection because both people in it are in emotional repression and really can't be themselves truly with each other. And that's what codependency is. Two or more people in emotional repression together. But, at least they can agree, right? Now, disagreement is actually the same thing, except that the people that you're agreeing with or the people that you're codependent with aren't right in front of you. They're not the person that's disagreeing with you right here, yeah? And they're usually classed as the other or the others, right? Which really means the people that can't meet my needs. And there's no connection there. And so the fate of someone who's in emotional repression is either in agreement, which is false connection, or disagreement, which is no connection. And we wonder why there's an epidemic of loneliness. It's because of buried, repressed emotions. The beliefs, opinions, and positions produced by emotional repression are a substitute for real life and actual connection. And so agreement and disagreement are what people who don't have access to themselves fully rely on in order to get needs met. And it never works because all we're saying is, do you think what I think or do you think what I don't think? Versus here's how I truly feel and here's what I've always truly felt, right? That's real connection. Speaking your mind or saying what you think is ultimately ineffective and pointless because your mind and your thinking are a cover for who you actually are. So if you want to leave intellectual agreement and disagreement behind and move into emotional honesty and true expression, then tap the link in the caption of the bio.